What's up, everybody? I hope everybody can hear me. Hey, Lee. All right, I can see you in the chat. How you doing, Lee? And anybody else that's logging in tonight, thank you for joining us. All right, now this is my first time touching the piano tonight, so we're gonna warm up together, okay? You guys maybe have your instruments out. The real instrument is ourselves, so let's just tune up a little bit, okay, before we get into all of this great topics and get into tune up. So we're gonna tune up for a moment, you guys. Okay, it sounds okay? Good, thanks. And let's see. Now, what we're gonna talk about is this music organization and the natural order, intervals and harmony. Whole tones, whole steps, half steps, intervals. All right, and how it relates to our United Music Science Wheel theory system. Okay, so this is going to be this is an important lesson. Just the beginning. We're going to start tonight, before we get into this. And thanks for giving me the thumbs up so the sound is okay. So let's get into the improvisers. We're like improvisers in the symphony, we talk about music and the instrument, but this piano is not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything until I touch it, until I put my spirit into it, And so when we talk about, we have choices, like we're going to talk about one of our topics in this course is in metaphysics is this big topic about fate and destiny. Was I destined to play this? Is it? But it's you say it's fate that you're here tonight, and we're here to learn in this lesson. And destiny is what we're gonna get out of it tonight. Okay, so that's gonna be like our choices. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this improvisation. And the first lesson that we're going to always talk about in this, I really want you to get this not only as, as a concept on and off your instrument, okay? So we're going to talk about the first concept is we talked about this in detail last night, but we didn't do too much plan. So I just want you to focus on this goal, right? So you see it's a B flat major pentatonic scale. Right? And so you have just 5 notes. That's it. Okay? But there's so much in there, and it's important to know the relationship between these 5 notes. A lot of cats just play the pentatonic scale. But I want you guys to look at it right now as a correlation to these different cycles of the 5 elements, right? So you see these labels here. Fire, I can put my fire into a note, but fire is passion, Okay, fire would be passion, you know, and then you have earth. So C produces B flat. B flat's going to produce G. G produces F. F produces D. And then it just repeats. So you see it's a B flat major pentatonic scale because you got do, re, mi. Do, re, mi. Right? So it's an interesting structure, all right? And we're going to take a look at this a little further, okay? So when we talk about these notes producing themselves, you will discover, you know, when you're looking at, you should have your chart in front of you, and you'll see these elements, you know. And don't worry if you don't understand this stuff. You will, okay? Because you know music, right? And if you don't know music, you're gonna understand. You're gonna understand music if you know metaphysics. What I'm talking about, okay? So watch. So everybody knows that fire is known as the Mars planet, right? But now we're going to use the analogy of C because, you know, we're not talking about the actual fire, you know, just so we can understand these relationships in metaphysics. So you have these 5 elements, right? So you say like C produces B flat, right? Well, it's 2 minor, see? And it produces that B flat. Right? It produces that B flat. Right? Okay? Alright, so C minor, Dorian, is the same note as B flat. All right. So, like I said, I didn't warm up yet today, you guys, but you get the idea, right? So you guys do this all the time, but now you know it's a pentatonic relationship between these 5 elements, right? Because you know that B flat you know that is the relative minor, G minor. You see, because all the metals found in the earth, all right? So this is kind of cool, and you guys can mess around with this, you know, but when you do this now, when you practice it, because I'm showing you so, you know, G minor is the same. Right? It's the same as F major. All right, I'm just trying to have fun, you guys, you know. But and on the 4th day, you know, we get to play together because it's gonna be on Zoom, okay? So I want you guys to just practice this and show me, you know, you know, use this as a you know, practice tool. But now you understand that you're producing these tonalities, and you're gonna carry this over into looking at your cosmic chord, because you know you're gonna be one of these elements in your day master. We talked about the key signature of your whole cosmic chord. So these elements are going to produce themselves. So what is that like, producing? What are you producing? I'm producing music. Some people produce paintings. Some people, everybody produces something, you know. You know, mother produces a kid. Like B flat's going to produce G minor. It's its relative minor. It's its kid, you see. So all of the code is actually in music when we talk about all this, right? And so now you know that F major, you know, F major, its relative minor is D. It's kid, right? F major is the same notes as D minor. You see, it's its relative minor. You dig? Now, we're using these tonalities, right? So you know now D minor produces C, right? It's going to produce C, okay? And that is that's your cycle, okay? So I hope you guys just mess around with that, and I want you to understand it as the elements are, right? Because this is a music metaphysics class, right? So we want to take this not only off our practice, but we want to look at our cosmic chord. It's going to get real interesting, okay? So now this is all in your notes, you guys. Now the dominants, now when we talk about notes that dominate each other, right? You know, the controlling relationship. That is always going to be the tonic to the dominant, right? So B flat, you see that, the line there, it controls earth, controls water, and B flat controls its dominant of that key. All right, so that, you know, you always wonder, why is it called the dominant? That's why it's called the dominant. That's why it's called the dominant music theory, because the tonic is going to dominate that note. It can tell that that F, what kind of F you are, and the tonic has to be strong enough to control that dominant, or else, you know, F could go somewhere else. But see, if the tonality is strong, you can always come back. You see, you always come back because it controls that dominant, whether it's the F or the B. We get into tritones in a minute, you guys, okay? So this is cool. You guys understand this stuff, and those are all of the controlling relationships, right? But the only one that's a third, of course, is the D to the B flat, right? So reason for that is because it's controlling the whole structure and the tonality. So when we get into the United Music Science Wheel, we're going to talk about these earthly branches, you guys. Now this is a cool way. These are all the intervals. I'm going to go over real quick on the piano, and I want you guys to practice this with the systems for improvisation. All right, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to find out right now, okay? It's real easy. So we're going to go over the intervals, all right? These are called intervals, and these are also called combos in astrology and in the stars, okay? So these stars, actually, it's not a real horse and goat, okay? They're stars, and you'll see them either in your chart or you should be doing all your friends, your family members, and you know your loved ones, and even your enemies if you got any of those, and do their charts, and you look up horse and goat. That's a combo, right? But in music, you can say it's a minor second. So that C and the B get along. From the horse's point of view or the bee's point of view is that. Okay? And then the next one is the snake and the monkey. You see that, right? So that's and they all, by the way, that's a minor second and a major seventh. So you should practice all your major sevenths in the systems for improvisation. So what's the systems for improvisation chromatically? All right, just so you get familiar with these, and it's also whole steps and half steps. Whole steps, you're moving things in half steps and whole steps. Okay, you're moving things in whole steps and half steps, okay? Okay, and you take that interval. Okay, that's how you practice it, but you know now that's a relationship, what they call a combo. Okay? You can go to any you can really sound real intelligent now, you know. Oh yeah, horse and goat, that's a combo. You sound real intelligent. You know these combos, right? And snake and monkey, that's a minor third or major sixth. All right, that's called a that snake and the monkey together. See, my piano's a little out of tune, but you get the idea. So you practice these. Let me see. You get the idea. You practice them whole steps, half steps. You know, you practice your intervals. You do this anyway, right? But you know now I want you to define them as these star clusters, okay? Don't worry, it's not that hard, right? There's only 6, right? So it's like really, that's it. So you got horse and goat, snake and monkey, rooster dragon, rabbit dog, and tiger pig, and the rat and the ox. Now, why is this important, you guys? You're gonna find out in a second, okay? And these are your triple harmonies, okay? So these are like your augmented chords. So these are your augmented chords. There's only 4, and they make a frame, like a water frame, you know, or a metal frame, right? Or fire frame. All right, okay, and those are you know, we practice this stuff. You know, we practice stuff in systems, but there's only 4. You know, it's giant steps if you look at the E flat, B, and G. Okay, we talked about that last night. So there's a lot in here when you work on these intervals, you guys. And these are what you call tritones and clashes. All right, so anybody tells you, you know, what the a clash is, you know, now you know in music theory it's actually a tritone, right? And there's only 6 of those. So, you know, you see the horse and the rat, they clash. You know, in that interval, they didn't mess around with that till like the Loneliest Monk and those guys really really laid on it and invented a chord like that. You know, a chord like that is called a half diminished chord. They had to actually, music theory, there was no half diminished chord, right? And so now, they call it minor 6, right? So now you have this half diminished thing, right? Which is harmonizing this tritone. So there's 6 of these, right? And then you have it's 6: horse and the rat, goat and the ox, monkey, tiger, and anybody that's tiger this year, you're the Grand Duke. So the tonality of the chord, and there's 3 tigers in the chord. So the chord, the cosmic chord this year is something like, you know, you could say it's something like, okay? Don't worry if you don't understand that, but this is the tiger. This will be the E. If you look at it, it says E on tiger. So there's 3 tigers in the cosmic chord. So you say E. What does that mean to you? If you have B flat, like I do, it's a tritone, right? Well, tritone usually means change because it wants to resolve. It wants to resolve somewhere, you know. You see, tritone substitution. Wants to resolve because it's got that, you know, every dominant chord has a tritone, so I don't know why they call it the devil's interval. It's been around forever. But to lay on it means instability, kind of. You could say that, unless you know, in music theory, you know, you've got new and always evolving, right? So this is all your art, you know, and it's an interesting exercise. So you learn all your tritones. So you got the monkey, tiger, right? Rabbit, rooster. Right? And the snake and the pig. And then you're back at the horse and the rat. That's whole tone city or tritone city. Is that? It's not dissonant to us anymore, right? So you guys mess around, but now when you play these tritones, you know that they are also known as your classes, okay? What they technically would call as classes. Now, we went over some of this, and I want you guys to practice this, and it's in your notes, you guys. And this is a good way to learn these pentatonics, right? So it's the same structure, but you see I twisted it a little bit in this one, right? So now you have it, and so there's only 4 that you're gonna have to make, but you see it's I already made them for you. So you have F minor, F minor Dorian. You can get 3 pentatonic scales from F minor Dorian. Right? Off of the minor third from the root, A flat. And blow, and E flat major, by the way, right? You see, have fun. You see, now you're gonna take it to all the keys. Now you go to E flat minor. Do the same thing. Always off the Dorian, guys, okay? So you always go. And if you want to be real hip, get your 4ths. So off the E flat minor, you got D flat major, A flat major. You see some of them overlap, and then you got G flat major pentatonic scale. Okay? And you have fun with that. I want you guys to blow with these things. If you go through each one of these wheels, you'll be playing this like McCoy in all the keys, right? In no time, right? So now B flat, you're gonna always build it from the Dorian. Just remember that. And you know, you should build, triads by the scale tones. Because remember, these major tonalities come from the minor. Remember that. Major is an analogy for yang, and minor is yin. So just remember that. These tonalities, these 3 majors are coming from 1 minor, and you got 3 minors in this structure, right? You see? Okay, and now, so this is how I want you guys to practice with this wheel. Okay, you're gonna learn metaphysics instinctively, and actually, it's this is a part of our tune-up in cosmic chord. Of course, you can play. You're gonna use this on the bandstand, but we use this off the bandstand. Just pick one. Just pick. If you can make music with one pentatonic scale, you're making music, right? And we talk about rhythm. There's no rhythm. Especially when you're by yourself. So, I'm just trying to show you guys, okay? And I'm not really trying to blow, but it's fun, right? So, you build it up B flat minor, and you build your fourths always from top to bottom, right? So, from the Dorian scale, right? So you got. Okay? Once again. And if you want, you can pick any of those tonalities. Are they real tonalities? Sure. Excuse me, I'm not trying to practice, man. I was just trying to learn this lick. They're real tonalities. D flat comes from the mind. They always, it comes from that, really. Okay? Just don't worry about it. It's just another way of thinking. But you're just going to overlap in your metaphysics studies, trust me. And it's funny how these tonalities come out in these wheels. You're only going to need to learn 4 of these guys, okay? So you got B flat minor, right? And I'm just showing you, really, you want to get to your subconscious mind. And this is just a tool. It's just a starting spot. It's just a starting place for your practice. A starting place, because of course, we're all gonna break all of these rules. You know what I'm saying? But it's a great starting place for your practice. So there's only 3 minors, right? So you got F minor Dorian, E flat minor Dorian, and B flat minor Dorian, right? All right, so I mean, excuse me for indulging with you guys, okay? But isn't that cool? And see, I was just playing the blues: B flat minor, E flat minor, and F minor. And you can do the same thing at D flat major, G flat major, A flat major. You can do a E flat major blues, A flat major. It's a 1-4-5. Okay, 1-4-5. Okay, you see what I'm saying? Okay, so it's a great practice tool, you guys. It's got a million applications. I made it easy. There's a graph there, so it's got it all laid out for you, just in case you forget. Okay, all right. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little and any questions on anything. Now we're gonna have another day where we're gonna practice some more, you guys. Okay, but let's just take a 2-second break. Sometimes, since 2020, you guys, this I know you guys are sick of this word pandemic, and sometimes life, especially right now, it feels like we're in a tunnel. And it's like, when is the end? When is the end of this tunnel, right? This what we're in, okay? And so sometimes life is like we're going through this tunnel, man. It's like it's moving, and you're trying to catch these things. And I'm so busy. Everybody's so busy, right? You guys put it why in the chat. You're real busy, and so but it's time. Time is relevant. We were talking about time yesterday, and like on what time is it on Pluto, right? Okay, you guys. So now let's get into this. We already went into these pentatonics and the five elements, right? And you played it. You see it. You know what it is. You guys should be able to recognize some intervals, the dominants, the harm augmented chords. Okay. Now, this is a closed session, and this is your chance to type any questions you have in the chat, as because I got it open. I can see some of these questions on anything about your cosmic chord. That's what we're going to talk about today, okay? It was just a tune-up to metaphysics, okay? But now, I want you guys to pull out your Bazi charts. Give me a Y in the chat if you got your Bazi charts in front of you. If you have one, give me a Y or a 1, type of 1. You got it, and you're ready to go, okay? Now, we're looking at the root, and the month is the 3rd, and the day will be the 5th. And the hour, I didn't put it here, but it's the 7th, okay? And it's the 7th of your chord, right? So we talked about this yesterday. These are all going to govern different aspects of our life. These are all going to govern different parts of our lives, okay? This is like our sonic blueprint of when we were born from the influence of the stars. Now, I just showed you on the piano. It's this analogy. Like when they talk about fire, it's not really the real. It's like, I don't think we can live with real fire inside us, right? But it's your passion. Fire represents passion, and we're going to talk about these analogies, okay? Because this is, Bazi, this is your cosmic code. What you have in front of you is a visual thing. So you got to picture these elements, okay? That's how they explained it, because not everybody understood it. The astronomers in ancient days understood this language. But the common people, that's why they use animals, you see. But it's talking about these set constellations in the stars and how these planets are moving. Those are moving planets. The pentatonic scale, those 5 moving planets, okay? And then you got set constellations like the tiger, the horse, the dog, okay? All right? And so I just showed it to you in music terms, and you practice that. But just hold on to it, because it's all, I want you to start to look at it now as a visual thing. And so you're looking for those elements, right? Like fire, right? Wood, metal. And then you're going to find them in your chart. It'll be yin and yang, okay? All right? So now, what we're going to look at tonight is we're going to explain some of this so you can look at this, and I want you to look at your 10-year changes. And that would be the 10-year, like a luck cycle that you might have. Like, for instance, you're going through a monkey luck cycle. It would be 10-year period. It could be a rabbit luck. It could be any one of those constellations, those star clusters named after animals, okay? And those have an influence on us. It has an influence on your chart, because this is fixed. This is our natal. So this is going to be fixed, you guys. So, but it changes. It's going to alter each year as the year changes and as you're going through these 10-year periods. And you can see these in your life. So you guys should take note of where we are now. Where are you right now? You see? And you can look at that down in the bottom. And that's like the theme. Because we look at this as melody or a theme. Okay? Like what you remember. And then you got harmony and rhythm. three elements, right, in your spirit, right? So you think of this when these changes come in, the top part is what's visible. Remember, this is a visible thing, so you can see it. So you want to take note of what the animal branch, what harmony you're going, because that's going to represent people you meet, events, circumstances, all types of shit, man. When we get deep into this, okay? So I just wanted to. Once you're good on the fundamentals, once we're good on these fundamentals, we're gonna get black belt with this stuff, okay? All right. So just one step at a time, we're gonna get this wheel really spinning, okay? Now, what I want to focus on, I want you guys to take note of these things, all right? Take note of these things. And by the way, I'm just curious. Did anybody wake up this morning and was able to write their story? You know, we had a special assignment to write our story for 2022. Like what is our story going to be? You know, how are we going to be the hero of our own story? You know, we want to be the hero of this story. So I just wanted you guys type in the chat. You did it? Okay, good. It doesn't have to be a book or nothing, man. I did the whole thing, got in my direction, and you know, and I pulled out some paper and I started thinking, and I broke it down into those categories. That's why we want to focus on these different aspects, because this represents your network and kind of like your environment, and also represents your social circle. And even today, this part of your cosmic cord is going to represent, because we're in a period now, it's going to represent your Facebook page. It's going to represent your Instagram page. It's going to represent your social media. All right. So this is important, right? So, you know, you can divide that up into this aspect of our lives, right? And then this is what you're doing. This is our work. This is what we do, what we put in our work in our whole lives, you know? And this is what our contribution hopefully will become. But this is how we make our money. Okay, so we're going to talk about this today. So this is don't worry if you gotta go. Don't worry, because the replays are up. No worries, okay? Thanks for hanging, okay? And so you have and say goodbye to Joey. Say goodnight to Joey, okay? And I'll see you. The replays will up. And I'm gonna invite you guys, make sure we get the special day. So there's gonna be a fourth day that's gonna be a special secret day, the Well Equipped Club, okay? And I really want to make sure you guys come to that, okay? All right, so no worries if you can't hang with me tonight, okay? I was here 3 hours last night, and I don't think everybody stayed until the end. A couple of you guys, okay? But it was worth staying to the end, right? You wrote your story. You activated your story. You went in the back of your direction, right? Okay, now you're gonna we can tweak it, retweak it. You know, you can tweak it, but kind of you have the rough draft, and you put that energy out in the universe. This is gonna give us that momentum we're gonna need. This year, coming up this year, is going to be that momentum we're going to really need to get through this year. We're going to talk about all that today and tomorrow, especially, okay? So now, so we got to look at these different aspects. So I was thinking, okay, what am I going to do? How am my work and how I'm going to make money and stuff like that, right? And this is where this is what you do, all right? This determines the quality of the whole chart, because the third is like, if it's a major, minor, the third tells you the quality of any chord, right? So it's going to actually determine the elements. And we talked about this yesterday, because remember, it's a visual thing. So you say, okay, you're a yin fire, right? Or you're a yang fire, and the month you're born has a lot to do with has effect on the key signature. Okay, we talked about the key signature. This is your key signature of your chart, okay? So this is really cool, you guys, and this is our relationship palace, okay? So our relationships, you know, so you look at that, right? And also this is our legacy, our investments, and it's our children, okay? So this is how you look at your cosmic core. So there's an invisible line right here, guys. This is external world. This is your internal. External, internal. Your base note and your third, your fifth and your seventh. You know, the seventh is your extensions, your legacy. That's why it's the legacy palace. This represents, you know, our children. Our children are our investments. You see, it's our legacy, right? That's one way to look at it. Okay, so you guys should now be able to look at these things and look at these branches within your cosmic core. Okay, now it's really cool because this year now we're going into this. We're going to look at this 1 year core changes, okay? Especially on the well-equipped day, we're going to look at these 12 months, like a 12-bar blues. So you're going to look at these things. But don't worry about understanding everything right now. Don't worry about that, okay? So just, I want to go right into the very important topic, and I want to go over this today with you guys. And that is, we're like fishermen, you know. Artists, we're like fishermen when you think about it, you know. You think about it, man. I'm not making a joke, but we're like artists. We're like fishermen. I mean, I'm a fisherman. I have my whatever talent I build, how equipped my fishing rod is with my tackle, my talent, you know, and it's out there in the water best I can. You know, sometimes I want to cast it out far, you know, but it's just there. And hoping that somebody appreciates what I offer, you know, and I can catch a fish, get a gig. I catch a fish. A fish is a gig. If you don't mind me using this analogy, because this is the wheel of fortune we're going to talk about, because musicians, we're usually broke. So we want to activate that part of our cosmic core. This is what we were going to talk about tonight. So I want you to just think about this as you're artists, right? We're artists, man, and artists, we don't really think about like finance too much. You know, we're always into our art, right? So, but we're like fishermen, you know, waiting for this gig, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like we're waiting, and we go to bigger waters, you know, thinking we'll catch some bigger fish, you know, we'll catch some bigger fish, you know, we'll hustle more, we'll go out. And we'll run to this town, run to another lake here, run to another. We'll go from gig to gig, and we'll try to catch some fish, right? You know, and then, you know, even if you really, you know, you really want to do it, you know, you can even get some of us, you know, we have 2 fishing rods. You know, we have 2 fishing rods. You know, we're working day and night. You know. Like myself, I might have a day gig, and you have a bigger net. You say, I'm going to catch a bigger net, I'm going to catch more fish, right? But you're still fishing, right? So what it's like is you're not going to get rich. We never, because you take the fish home, and you just eat them, and it's a number. It's just a number. You know, it could be like I do $1,000 gig, right? Or it could be even a $50 gig, man. A little teeny little minnow, you know, a little tuna, a little piece of a tuna fish. You know, sometimes you catch a whole tuna. You know, you go on a tour, you catch a whole rack of fish, but you're still gonna take them home, fry them up, eat them, and that's it. You see. Now we're going through this whole thing where we're changing. The economy's changing. The role of musicians are changing. The industry's changing, and fishing is going to make us real tired. Okay, so what we want to do now, is we want to create a coral reef. We want to create an environment. You want to create an ecosystem. You know, we want to get a band of cats. You know, we want to create a community. Right, and that's what we're doing with the institute, you know, and that's what you want to think about with your own career, okay, going forward. Now, I want to show you now, just real quick, how to look at these things and how to time them, okay? So this is going to be an exercise for tonight. You guys did everything from last night. You found your Nobleman stars, hopefully. You've identified your key signature, you know what you are, your stem. I told you, like, all of this is around us and the environment that's coming in, but this is our lives. This is aspects of our life, right? But this is the real us, right? So this is our key signature, right? So now, You should know that, and you know your nobleman stars, right? So now you're equipped now to start to see these things, not only in your natal and in your luck cycles, but especially in the annual coming up this year, right? So now these here, I just put the abbreviations, but these are the abbreviations that Dado Joliet put to the 10 gods, what they call the 10 gods. Now, before you get confused, how many notes are in a pentatonic scale? 5. Now, remember when I did the exercise on the piano, I played majors and minors. So if you add it up, you got 5 times major and minor, 10. So these are your 10, you can say, pentatonic gods that have an influence over your entire cosmic chord. All right? Okay? So now we're going to look for these wealth elements today. They all mean something. I'm going to just go through them just to be fair. This is direct wealth, indirect wealth. This is rob wealth and friend. This is direct resource, indirect resource. 7 killings, direct officer, hurting officer, eating God. Okay? So don't worry about memorizing all this shit right now. I just want you to focus on these 2 for now, for today. We're gonna go more advanced, but just look for these guys. Now these are the wealth stars, right? Now try to find them, identify them right now. You look for them, see if you see them in your chart. Don't worry if you don't. Doesn't mean you're gonna be broke. Some of the richest people you ever think of don't have any, so don't worry about that. That's not to necessarily mean, because the wealth star means really something that you can control in a way. Direct wealth is like direct wealth. You're working on it, working at your art, like you're practicing, or you're teaching a gig, or you're working any job, right? That's direct wealth. Indirect wealth is more like what they call dumb money. Like you luck up, maybe you be in the right place at the right time, and you make a big windfall gain. It's more, it's indirect. Okay, it's indirect. And that's just one way of looking at it, okay? But what I want you to do is look for them either on top, all right? It's either going to say DW or IW, or it's going to have all these other people. You should take note of all of these. We're going to go over all of these in the course, but and over the next couple of days with the Well Equipped Club Day especially, we're going to deep dive on the Well Equipped Day. But I'm going to say that you can find it on top, or you can find it on the bottom. So where? In the melody, or you can find them in the rhythm. You can find them in the heavenly branches, or in the hidden stems. Okay, what they call hidden stems. Okay, all right. Now, just look for them. Just look for them. Okay. Now you should also look. Remember now, look at the year. And the abbreviation on your chart, it'll say it again if you find it. You could find it in a luck cycle. You could find it in a day thing. Okay, good. You see some? Good. Okay, take note where they are. Okay, now if you have it up here, I'm just going to give you a real quick way to look at them so you can remember this, okay? And there's many ways to activate these wealth stars, okay? But I want you guys, we're going to try to focus on where they are and what to do and what you should be doing to really activate the stars, okay? Because you have them. If you have them in your chart, that means you got it, okay? You got it, okay? All right, so don't worry. Let's go over a couple of things. Let me just get the next slide up, and I'll show you exactly what I mean with these wealth stars, okay? So let's take a look at some of these, okay? So if you see them, I can't sign the slide right now, but don't worry. If you see them up here, it's like for selling. It's visible. It's visible. You know, you're more into like marketing or selling. You can do that. You can do that. It's easier because it's available for you. Okay. If it's down here, you're into producing the thing, creating a product, maybe behind the scenes, or inventing a new product, inventing new service, because you know you have to have value. Money is just currency. That's what they call currency. You know, it's an energy exchange. It's energy, right? So you create value, we can create more wealth if we're lucky. We're lucky. But a lot of, like I said, you have direct wealth and indirect wealth, okay? Now, just know where it is in your chart. You should know what you've been doing right now. You should know where you can focus if you want to make more money. If it's up here, you should be out there more selling and making, meeting people and doing things like that, more into the marketing and selling. If it's down in the bottom, you're more into the development and the production. And we can go even a little deeper and talk about how to see them. Okay, so that's one way. That's one way to find your wealth stars in your chart. Okay, guys. Okay, and I hope you guys understand that. Okay, now just bear with me. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. Okay, watch. Okay, now, so if you happen to see them, let's say we're looking for DW and IW. So if you happen to see them like on the top, you have an affinity and more available for you for selling, marketing, advertising, and educating. You say, I don't like to teach. Well, that's the best way to sell something. You teach people about the product without being like, hey man, buy this shit. Educating, okay? So that's part of selling, okay? That's part of activating these wealth stars, okay? If you find it down the bottom, okay, either you're gonna be part of creating it, the manufacturing and producing, or you're supporting, you'll be in a supportive role of the product, or an administrative team. Okay, I'm telling you exactly what you can do to activate your wealth stars. And if you have them, like I said, if you have them up here in the melody or in the rhythm, that's what you do. Okay? You know, if it's on the side, if it's in the middle, you're more in the creating, manufacturing, producing. If it's on the side, it's more supporting, because it's the supporting chi. And you're more on the administrative team. Okay, you guys? Now, this is some valuable stuff, you guys, I'm giving you that you can activate right now, right permanently with your chart. And so you can start to work on these things. And then also, you got to see them coming in this year. Okay, and we're going to talk about that, especially tomorrow. We're going to talk about the rhythm, because this has a rhythm. You know, like I said, you know, we're going to go through the tiger, and, you know, then the tiger has elements. You know, it's got wood. You know, all these elements are going to be in the chart. You know, the main element is wood, right? And there's you have water, because water, when we looked at the chart, remember last time? So those alpha elements are going to be, you gotta, you know, you might be able to, what it means to you. Remember, this is your key signature, okay? So what it means. So wood might not be your wealth element if you're an earth cat. It's actually going to be controlling you, right? So, but if you're metal guy, then that's the wood would be just as an analogy, you guys, so you can understand a little bit. Okay, all right. So without any brain damage, just know if it's up top, you can go out and you do more of the back part of it. Okay, if it's down the bottom, you're in the creating and manufacturing and inventing. Okay, you got it. Okay, is that cool? Okay, so give me a thumbs up. You guys understand that, because that was one of the things that I really wanted to stress, you guys, because this is important. So, you know, if you know where to activate it, you know where to work on. You know what aspects of our core that we can, and what it means is there's an affinity for it. You know, you have and there's an affinity, and you have more good luck with it. Okay, now I'm going to give you a little bonus right now. I'm going to give you a little bonus extra, right? And if you feel like I don't have an affinity for that, well, maybe just give it a shot, okay? Give it a try, you guys, okay? Give it, what do you got to lose? Give it a shot. And it might take a while to really develop that, okay? Now, what I want to show you is let me go back to this one. And so when you find these you're looking for these, right? So I said either it's going to be up top. And any of these 10 gods, they're all going to mean something, right? All right, they all mean different things. That's why they call it the 10 gods, right? Okay? So remember we played that on the piano, right? They're 5, but they have a yin and yang version. So, you have a C major, C minor. You have a B flat major, B flat minor. You have a G major, G minor, of course. F major, F minor. You have D major, D minor. So that's 10. Okay? And they all can relate to your day master, whatever your day master is. Okay? So one of them might be a companion. So like say you're B flat here, like say you're Earth, right? So any Earth in your chart is either going to be your companion. So it's either going to be Rob, wealth, or friend, depending on if it's yin or yang. Okay? All right, don't worry. You'll get all of this real quick, okay? But we're looking for DWIW. Now, let me give you a little extra bonus, you guys. So this is real helpful. I want you to look in the month. Now, remember the month is our work palace, right? And our month determines the quality of the chord, right? So just look at what's there. It might not be DWIW, doesn't matter. I want you to focus on what is there inside this box. And type it in the chat if you can. If you really want me, you can type it in the chat. Or just take a note. If you don't find it, don't worry about it. You're like, what box, where? It's on the top of your natal Bazi chart. In the month palace, in the bottom, the hidden stems, it might have one element there, or it could have 2 elements there, or it could have 3 elements there. That's it. 1, 2, or 3. Okay? So if you have 3, that means you can do 3 different things. But that might not be, you'd be like, okay, so focus on the big one. So if you have 3, I just want you for today, focus on the big one. What's the big one? Type it in the chat. And tell me the element. And it'll have an abbreviation. If it doesn't say DWIW, that's not what I'm talking about. I just want you to know what's in your work palace. What is in your career palace. Okay? And we'll talk about that. Okay? So if you can see it, Hector, or anybody, you guys want to tell me, I don't know if you guys are still with me, okay? Sometimes I do these things, I'll be like, hello, is anybody out there, But it's cool, okay? So if you get it, if you can see it, I just want you to take note of what it is, okay? And it'll have abbreviation there, okay? And that'll tell you, out of these ones, what is your biggest market for wealth? What is the hugest return for you? This will be what they say. Okay, this is your hugest market for you. That element down there. Okay, and we'll talk about these elements specifically, but you should take note of them. Okay. So okay, I see. Hector, you got water DO, wood DR. What's the animal sign here? You got 2. You said you got 2? Okay. So what's the big one? Which one's the big one? DRDO. Okay? And you can really zone in on where your maximum, where the most energy is, where it's concentrated more. The other ones are supporting chi. So you can grab both, you can do both, but I'm just telling you, if you focus on the main one, it's going to be the best for now. And then you can work on the other, you can get the other 3 moving. All right, so if you got, what is it, DR? Is he saying DRY? Okay, DR? Okay, it's teaching, man. And it's one of the things, okay? It depends, because that star represents having a secret formula. In the old days, it would be like, they have like a secret formula, and they sell the secret formula, and then they don't reveal it. They sell the applications and stuff, right? A teacher that has a real specific way or a specific secret sauce. Okay, so if it's DR there, that's what that is. It's your secret sauce or your secret formula that you have. And teaching is one of the things that you'd be very easy to do if it's DR. Okay? All right? It depends on what element. Is it DR wood or is it, you're a fire guy, right? So it's got to be wood. It's got to be wood. It's wood, right? Okay. So that's teaching for real, because wood is growth. Wood is culture. Wood, I have that star. So wood would definitely be culture, teaching in that aspect. That market can be good, very huge for you. Okay, you got it. Okay, so that's how you look at it, guys. Okay, that's how you look at it. I just did one star, but I want you to look at the star that's here. And like I said, if you got two, that means you can do both. But you look at the main one, that's where the hugest market is for you. But you can actually do both. So people that have 2 or 3, they can be like, real hustlers, or they can actually, some of the people, they can actually be moguls, you see, because they can have business and or money and different things, or have different things going on at the same time. You see what I'm saying? But if you, that can be bad if you, it can cause confusion, right? You're running around doing all these different things because you can. The reason why it's here is because you can. You can do 3 different things, right? Okay? So it's easier. Sometimes you only have one. You say, okay, I can focus on that one thing. So I'm just giving you a heads up. The main one, the one in the middle, the big one, is where it's at. Okay? So the big one is very good for, that's where the biggest market is for you. Okay? Where that middle chi is. Okay, you got it? Okay? And remember, this is going to be into creating and producing, right? And supporting and that type of role. But more so, the main one, DR, will be creating. So you can create some courses. You can create something that's secret to you, though. It's got to be your formula. That's the key. You see, the cat, like I said, the cats that you really maximize that stars because you have this secret formula. Now you guys got to formulate this secret sauce of yours, and you could teach it and sell it for a price. You see what I'm saying? And there'll probably be a huge market for you in that. You know what I'm saying? All right? Okay? That's DR. Okay, that's one aspect of DR. Okay, you got it? Okay, so now, hey Greg, welcome you guys that coming in. Thanks for everyone logging in. And no worries, the replays are going to be up, you guys, okay? So, we were looking at our wealth. This is the Wheel of Fortune tonight, okay? So we're trying to activate these wealth stars. So when you find them up top, what do? You can sell easily, you can market, and you can educate. When I say educate, you're educating the masses, you're trying to put people to sell. You're more out front. Remember, this is melody. So it's more visible. This is the visible branches, okay? So this is underground. So this is what you're developing. You're going to develop that. You're going to develop that secret formula of yours. You see, that will one day come. It'll come to down. Now, if you have it up here and down there, it's really great because that means you can do both. You got DR up here, DR down there. You can do both. If you got DW, IW up here, you can sell. Got it? If you guys understand the concept, you can apply it to any star. You can apply it to any star within your cosmic core. You say, okay, where are my friends? They say, with a friend or your Rob Wealth, your companion stars, right? How can I expand my community, right? So if you got Rob Wealth stars in your chart, you say, where is it? Is it here? And it's going to be in the furthest part of you, on your Facebook page and all that. It's here, and you can activate those stars. If it's, you see what I'm saying? It's a concept thing. You see what I mean? EG is creating, right? So you're creating something new. It's artist star. That's the real artist star, the pure artist star, right? That can't be bought. So the artist, the pure artist, if it's in the bottom, then you're creating. You're into developing, manufacturing, producing, innovative art, the true art, right? If it's up top, you're actually selling it, even though you don't like it, but you can do it. You see, because that's part of like educating. So this is actually, you don't have to sell it, but you can put it out there. Because if you have the EG up top, because it's not a wealth star. See, there's difference in the star, different characteristics of the star, but where you're going to do it. If it's here, you can do it in your extended market. If it's here, you can do it for a smaller organization. If it's here, it's like you're all working solo, you're working. If it's here, you're working with a small team, like a family business or something like that, right? Okay, remember there's an invisible line right here. Okay, so now you guys, you can do it with any star. And we're going to go over all these 10 pentatonic gods further, okay? But we went over the direct wealth, which is active work you're doing, you know, it's like what you're doing and stuff like that. And to make money, like a steady job, staying on a steady mission, you know what I mean, a steady gig. It can be direct wealth. Or indirect wealth. Indirect wealth is you get lucked up and, I don't know, you get called to do a big gig for, it's the most money you'll make, but then it's over. Let's say you make $1 million on a tour that lasts a year or 2 years with a big pop band, you save up, like make $500,000. That's indirect wealth. It's like windfall gains. You got it? Direct wealth is that steady gig, or you're working every day, or you're teaching every day, or you're doing whatever you hustle you got, working any job, right? For anybody, right? Just because we're musicians, right? So you say indirect wealth, you know, that's like getting that call you didn't expect, or you lucked up, right place at the right time. Say, hey man, join this band, man. Where are we going, man? We're going to Europe, and I'm gonna pay you $300,000. You made $300,000 just like that. You see, just being in the right place, right time. That's indirect wealth. You see what I mean? So you look for these stars in your chart. That's one way of looking at the stars. You know, just one way. Indirect wealth is also, indirect is other people. It's always going to involve, and so it's also a pioneer star. So if you have a strong that in your chart, you know, you could actually, that's the true entrepreneur star, actually. That's the entrepreneur star, the indirect wealth star. Okay, usually indirect wealth is the bigger amount, but less consistent. And direct wealth is more consistent, but you work your ass off. Okay, you got it? Okay, you see? Okay? So I hope that explains the stars, and especially the Wheel of Fortune stars, okay? And I think that is a great topic that we're going to explore further, you guys. And I'm glad you guys can type in the chat. So any questions, man, go ahead and shoot. We'll do a little Q&A, but I see you. So good, Hector, man. It's good you're noticing where it is. Now, I'm going to talk about one more thing. I'll give you one more bonus. I'll give you one more bonus for the Wheel of Fortune, okay? Because we got to activate this. And then we're going to take a little 5-minute break, and we're going to come back and look at the year chart, okay? Because this is all internal. And then the next lesson and tomorrow we're going to really look at the external, all right? How you're going to grab the year, grab the tiger, grab those opportunities. And I hope you guys wrote out your little script. Your script is very important. Write you did the activation this morning, so you're right in it, man, okay? Like I said, I woke up early, and I really, it's like, I didn't know what to write, so I just had to get in my mode, get back to my deity, and just divide it up into categories, and came up with a pretty good idea of what I want to see done. And it's not, I know everything might not be possible, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I definitely don't want to be a victim. I don't want to be a complainer. I want to be the hero and the nobleman of the story. So I'm tritoning this year. So trust me, I'm going to be very, very busy. Anybody got monkey, snake, tiger, and pig in your chart, you're going to be very, very, very busy this year. We talked about that yesterday. You're the diminished chord. You're like when we do the palm oracle, you're right here. Tiger, okay? Tiger, snake, monkey, pig. This is always going to be a clash. These are clashes. That's how you can remember the clashes, you guys. When we talk about the palm oracle, we'll talk about that later or tomorrow or on the well-equipped day. But this is how you're going to remember this when we talk about the days. Like I picked the day, yesterday. Well, I didn't pick it. My teacher picked it, and I grabbed it, and I applied it to us for our stuff. But it's a special day. Like certain days, you guys have real beneficent energies. So I'm glad you guys did the exercise, and we're doing this, and it's at least you got the whole point, and you got to revisit it. Like I said, this is at least I started. The important thing is you start the initiation, or you establish it, what your intentions are, because I can always go back, tweak my story. It's like a movie. It's like we're directing our movie of 2022. So I can always kind of go back, what's this scene might be, or what do I want this scene to be, how did it turn out to be, we'll go back and look at it, but then you always got to be flexible for this year. So but you want to have your goals clear. You want to have your goals clear of what you want of those things that we talked about: health, wealth, relationships, contribution, and life purpose, our life purpose, right? Okay? So now you know what you should be doing to make money. This is where your maximum returns are going to be. In the top two, but this is what you can really do. This is where it's at, okay? So focus on it. Now, I want you to look one more place. This is a bonus now. Wheel of Fortune bonus, right? Wheel of Fortune bonus, you guys. So pay attention. I want you to look, and not just look in your charts, but I want you to look in other people's charts where these wealth elements are. But I want you to look here. Why? Because just think about it, you guys. This is where your thoughts are. This is like the most inner thoughts of the cosmic core. And this is where your investments are and where your legacy is. So if you have those guys here, usually, and you can try this as an exercise with people you know, you say, oh, this person's really aggressive trying to make money in their life, or they want to make money, and some people just don't have it. See, because the thing is, like, if I ask you want to be rich, you want to be poor, who's going to type in the chat poor? If you want to be rich or poor, no one's going to say poor, right? Okay? But a lot of people that are, like I'm talking about, the really rich, you'll find that they'll either have those stars here, because this is going to represent your drive, like your compulsion, like you're compelled to do it. Okay? You're compelled. So right now I want you guys to just look. Don't worry if it's not there. Okay? Because there's other stars that I want to show you that can be there too. Okay? So I'm going to give you a real bonus tonight, you guys. A real bonus. Actually cost me a lot of money to get this bonus. So I'm going to give it to you guys for free tonight. Okay? So now, look in here. You're going to look for DWIW. Okay? And if you don't have those, type in the chat if you have them. If anybody's got them. I just like to know if you got them. We're looking down in the hour, right? So this is DW and IW, and this is here. Either one, okay? Either one. Now, if you don't have that, don't have those, don't worry about it. I want you to look for the next category. The next category, okay? And that's going to be RW and friend. So, as you have either one of these guys, DW or IW, or RW and friend, here, you got it? Then you have the compulsion to be super rich. It's there. And now, let me tell you, whichever one it is, it means you like to hustle. You got it on your mind. You got it on your mind, right? Okay, that's a start, okay? Now, if you have it, okay, yeah, good. If someone in your family has it, great, okay? That's why I said do other people's charts, okay? You guys find them here, and now you know what it's going to be. I already explained DW and IW. I already explained direct wealth and indirect wealth, didn't I? Right? Direct wealth, indirect wealth. Direct wealth is a steady, more like management type position. Indirect wealth is like the entrepreneur, right? Okay, you got it? Now, if you got friend or rob wealth, listen to me good. I'm giving you guys real good stuff. if you got the friend in the Rob Wealth Star here, that's activated by being around other people that are successful. Or you see it. Like you see someone else and you say, man, I want to be like them or better than them. That's what that is. This has to be activated by proximity of people and learning from people that are successful. So if you have it, you're probably looking at other people. You're like, man, I want what that motherfucker's got. How can I get it? So now you gotta find out how. Hang around the people. Try to learn. How did they do it? How did they do it? How did they do it? And by being in proximity, that's how you're gonna activate that. Okay, guys? That's those 4 categories of wealth stars. The 2 main ones and then the alternate ones. Okay, there's the alternate changes. That's why it's rob wealth. You say, what does it mean? Someone robbing my wealth? No, it's your companion. So if you're hanging around people, then you're gonna learn, right? You might get in on a deal. You might be inspired, right? Okay, that's the same element as you. That's rob wealth and friend. Okay, guys. All right. You guys got a lot of good bonuses tonight, man. A lot of great stuff, man. I really think that if you just, even if you look at the replays, you guys, and just take notes and just, just grab some of this stuff that we went over just tonight and last night, man. You've got, at least you should be able to understand this map, this treasure chest, this treasure map, this cosmic core, this beautiful gift that the Creator gave all of us, right? It's just a lot of people don't know what it is, But now you can know and you can zone in on different things in our lives, and we can find these elements, and you can use, you're in charge. You're the key signature, man. So these all things are relating to your day master, okay? So we're going to take about a 10-minute break, 15-minute break, and we're going to come back for the last section, okay? If you stick around, you're going to be maybe glad you stuck around again tonight, okay? Thank you so much, and we'll be right back, okay? Thanks. Ooh, I got the space slide on you, man. I'm going to leave it like this till we come back. What's up, guys?
Here's the number that all the musicians in the world love to play. One of the good old swing numbers. The Tiger Rag.
Y'all
the
ready?
Tiger Rag. Look out there. 1, 2.
It's coming quick. Tiger Rag's coming, y'all. Type a Y in the chat if you're ready for the Tiger Rag, you guys. Y'all ready? It's coming fast. The energies are already changing, everybody. What's up, James? What's up, Mazel? Yeah.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little trip through the jungles this time. And we want y'all to travel with us. That tiger's running so fast. It's going to take a few choruses to catch him. So I want y'all to count with me. Yes, sir. Me and this little silver trumpet's going to get away for you this time. Let out there, boys. I'm ready. Yeah.
Y'all ready? It's coming, y'all. I hope you wrote your stories this morning. Get ready for this Tiger Rag, you guys. You know, man, Louis brought the trumpet into the 21st century. Brought the trumpet
Cole,
into the 20th
he's my
and
miracle
21st
child.
century, you guys.
So how does your
Okay.
miracle...
All right, man. I just had to put on pops, man, for the introduction, man. I'm really amped for this year, and I'm glad you guys have hang with me to the end, because this is going to be a really interesting section right now. Okay, and we went over a lot of stuff, you know. And if you guys don't worry, the replays are up, and you guys got access to these replays for all the way to the new year. So now you know where to look inside our magical cosmic chord for these goodies, right? These goodies, okay? Now let's continue now, you guys. We're gonna get into, we have our goals, right, for this year. We wrote out our goals and what we want to accomplish, right? Now I want to talk to you about these the chart for this year, okay? And I want you to take a good look at this chart. Let me see if I can find it. I had it right up here. And this is the this is going to be the and don't worry, it's in your notes, you guys. But it's the Bazi chart for the year, for the whole year, okay? Now this chart here. Now, we're the only one that has it like this in the world, because we're the only one that does music metaphysics, because we invented the United Music Science Wheel. But I want you to just know that everything else is the same. Okay, everything else is the same. So this was taken, this is when they take the chart, the astronomers know to take the chart for the year for 2022. All right, and so this is don't ask me. All the astronomers know. Okay, so but this is the chart. This is for this year. This is the water. This is the year of the water tiger. So take a good look at it. If you guys want to take a screenshot real quick, help yourself. But I'm gonna put it in the notes for you guys in the replay. All right. This is the United Music Science Wheel version. Okay. Now let's take a look at it. And now you guys should know this thing. It's the same thing, right? Okay. Now watch. Melody, harmony, rhythm. Okay. Now, you see, it's 3 tigers, man. That's the first thing you look. It's like, shit. Okay? So remember we talked about the animal signs of change. Monkey, include me. Snake, any snakes out there? Type a Y in the chat. If you got monkey and snake in your chart, get ready for a ride. Tiger, of course, and the pig. Those are the 4 main ones that we can expect. We can expect a real shift in our chart, because the tiger, if you notice, is 3 of them. If you guys notice, that's why I put in a well-equipped, there's a whole gang of tigers this year, man. Because it's not just one tiger. It's not just the tiger year. Every other tiger year it might just be one tiger year. Now you got 3 freaking tigers. Okay, all right. And this is the universal Bazi Chart for the year for 2022. The Cosmic Chord Bazi Chart for 2022. This is our United Music Science Wheel extra version that I put the notes in here. I transcribed it already for you guys. Okay, now, who's got monkey, snake, pig? We need to talk, and the tiger. We need to have a little conversation. Type in the chat so I know who. And you guys have monkey, snake, pig. All you guys? One of those? You have 2 of those? Where is it? Where is it? Now they're all going to be a little different change, but just know it's going to be some kind of change. It's some kind of. If you're tritoning, then you guys now know. Now I want you to use your music theory knowledge so that you don't have to learn this stuff the way I learned it, okay? It's just going to be easy for you guys, all right? So check it out. Look at your hand. Look at your hand. Tiger. Snake. Monkey. Pig. Got it? This is a special chart this year, you guys. I'm giving you this some inside. I'm telling you, it's a real special chart this year. And you know we're heading into 2024, switching a whole new period. Big change, 20-year change. And then we go cycle 9 to 1. There's 2 odd numbers. Anybody notice that? There's no number after 9. We go back to 1. That's a big change. 2044. We got 2024 right around the corner. Then we're going 2044, and then a big change. 20 years. I don't know if I'm going to be around for that. I'll be old if I make it. But any of you guys see the replay, we're in this now. This is the cusp. We haven't really hit the bottom of this thing, man. You have to understand now. We're moving out of, see, the pig, really when the shit started changing, in the rat. You see, the rat was in the middle. These are the cardinal signs. So it's water. So the pandemic and the big change, that's when you had the Great Conjunction. If you guys remember in 2020, the Great Conjunction back then, it happened a long time. Well, yeah, that's right. It didn't happen in a long time. It marks the whole new cycle. And so that's the heaven plate, what they call the heaven plate. Now the rhythm changes is coming. So now we're in it, right? So everything's changed, man. Everything's changed for everyone. Same cause. What's going to be our effect? That's why we're talking about we're not gonna be a victim. We're not gonna be like the pandemic, man. Oh man, the pandemic, man. I said, oh man, the society or the government, man. The scene. Oh man, no. We write this story, and if you didn't write it yet, I want you to write it because this is the energy still here tonight. So you just write what you're like a movie. You're directing your movie for 2022. All right, and this is an important map to guide us. Okay, now let's break it down. All right, so you got these three tigers, right? These three tigers. So of course it's going to be an extra class, right? So it's going to expect the tiger, and also by the way, with the Palm Oracle, it's also the animal signs, right? So the animal signs, these are all going to be tritones, and they're always going to be classes when you skip. Doesn't matter here, here. It's always going to be a clash. All right? Okay? All right? So you see that all of these signs clash with each other. The snake clashes with the pig. The tiger clashes with the monkey. And if you put them together, it's a diminished chord. It's almost 4 different tonalities. And we're going to feel these 4 different tonalities probably, especially if you got more than one. Like if you got snake, monkey, you got all 4, man. You are in for a ride this year in your chart. My son has all 4. Look, we're gonna talk about that in the well equipped day, okay? Because the whole purpose of this class is that I want you guys to learn this new system, man. Like I said, we're the only one, and you guys please keep this to yourself. This is for us, man. Ain't nobody gonna understand this shit anyway. All right, they're not gonna understand any of this anyway. All right, so just don't. It's no point. You know what I'm saying? What we want is results this year, you guys. Okay, in this little community, you guys that are in this inner circle, man. Okay, so just take a note of this thing. Okay, now let's watch. A couple of things are real special. You notice, right? You see the wealth element. You see now the wealth element is surrounding the day master, right? So the day master is got this wealth around it, but to see this is wood inside the tiger. The main thing is wood. Don't worry, that's Jah. That means wood. This is fire. This is earth. Okay, so inside all of these tigers, you got wood, main chi, fire, and earth. Remember I told you about looking your month palace, where you're gonna what you do? Take note. Okay, so this is all these tigers here, right? This is investments. This is and this is the day master. Okay, now it's a Yang Earth day master, Yang Earth rat. So rat has a special relationship too in this year. If you got rat in your chart, I have rat too. All right, and I'm going through a monkey luck cycle, man. So you guys, it's going to be an interesting ride this year, you guys. This is going to be a big breakthrough. Like if we've been plateauing for a long time, and we've been like, this is our chance now. This is our chance now. This is going to be a big breakthrough. Just think, last 12 years, especially guys that have monkey snake in your chart. What happened last 12 years ago? That was the last time the tiger year came. All right, and if you really want to look at it, the last Yang Earth rat year was 2008. Hello? What happened in 2008 and 2010, guys? What's going to happen 2022? Right, so that's what the inner circle is about. That's what this well-equipped club is about, you guys. Okay, so now let's take a look a little deeper, perhaps, and let's look at some things. 2008 was an Earth Rat year. Remember, they had the big financial crisis. We also had the first African American president of the United States, and we had the big financial collapse as well. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, now watch. Just go back in your own life, man. especially if you got monkey and tiger in your chart, or snake and pig, but any animal size. Those are big changes. Anytime the rat year comes, it's the first of the animal sign. That's why 2020 was a metal rat. We call it the G-flat 7 metal rat, if you guys remember. Okay? Big ass tritone. Okay, now just bear with me, cats. I'm gonna find this joint. Okay, just takes me a second. It's crazy over here. I got so many slides, man. We gotta get equipped. See, if you think that we're going back to the old, man, it's we have to like bear now, because we haven't even gone through the cusp of this this pandemic, really. You know, people are already taking their masks off and stuff like that. Now we got Omicron and I don't know, man, all these crons, and it's just but we want to gear up and get our momentum now going into the tiger year, and then moving right into the into cycle 9, man, because we're in it. You know, we're really in the transition phase real hard. So don't expect things to go back to normal. But what I want to show you guys is just something interesting. So if you remember back in 2008, remember universe, heaven, earth, man, a rhythm, harmony, melody, spirit, universe. Well, we're going to use the analogies of governments, financial institutions, businesses, and people. Okay? So it's the people, right? People, you know, businesses, financial institutions, and government. Okay? Now, you know, in 2008, we had one collapse, right? Now, if you look at music, what was happening on the music scene in those days? You guys remember? What happened in 2008, 2010? Okay, you got the same analogy, really, but you can actually say the whole media. And what they had used to be like the record labels, and then the scene was businesses. You say the clubs where we work and all the gigs, and that's the scene. And then us, the people, musicians, the fans. I just put musicians, but you can talk about just the common people, because there's no special word for a musician if you go to ancient times, man. I showed you the temple. They said the music and the stars make music in you, but there's no word for musician. They had a word for scientists, no word for musician. Okay, so we're musicians, right? So now I want you to look at this now. Now that the pandemic hit, right? This is all changed, right? A lot of these clubs are closing. And they had to close, right? Just like back in 2008, businesses had to close. But now you got like even clubs, like there's no clubs anymore. But even back then, the clubs started closing. If you guys would really remember what was happening, all right? The real estate's got a lot to do with this shit, right? And you got the labels, right? Labels, they are the labels. See, before, you remember when the institutions, heaven, the institutions, and the businesses and people, you remember the last slide. Now you've got, when 2008, the last Earth Rat year, right? You had 2008, you had, the government had to bail these cats out because they was fucking around. They were robbing everybody. The people especially, right? They were robbing, digging in their middlemen, everything, the bankers, right? And these guys had to bail the bankers out, right? Goldman Sachs, all those cats, right? Billionaires, right? All right, now, there's another thing happening right now, right? It started 2020, right? If you think, right? And now we're going to 2022, Earth Rat Daymaster, surrounded by all those tigers. Now you got, it's already changed, cats. So who's gonna bail out who? Because now the government is printing money to bail out everybody. They're printing all this fiat money, printing out everybody. I don't have to go back to the other slide. Use your imagination. Okay? All right. So I just want to show you that. And you want to look at these things that might be in the chart this year. Right? You know, universe, media, you know, trying to get your stuff out there, you know, heaven, melody, institutions, you could say even schools. Schools have been closing. They have to change how the institutions, how they're doing the schools, you know, enrollments and stuff. Like this whole thing that's happening right now, you know, and the scene, you know, and then you got, you know, us, okay? All right, guys, now I want you cats to get ready to grab that tiger in 2022. All right, now this was day 2, and I think it was great, you guys. Any questions on anything, please type it in the chat. But about the chart this year and what we're looking at, you know, we're gonna really look at this. We're gonna come back tomorrow, and we're gonna now that you have your map, you know, you wrote your story for the year. Hope you guys have written your story for the year, and you've gotten your map, and you're ready for this upcoming year. You dig? And for the day tomorrow, okay? So tomorrow's going to be really exciting, you guys, okay? So now that you have these things, I want you to look at these different aspects of our core, and we're going to really take a look at the chart tomorrow, and also we're going to look at these 12-bar blues. These 12 bars, 12 months, starting February. And if you guys hang in the Well-Equipped Club, it's probably going to be very mobile this year because I'm clashing with the Grand Duke big time. And so I don't even know, you know, the thing is, like, a clash is painful if you don't know it's coming. Maybe it's unexpected, right? Something that's unexpected can be a drag, right? But what if you expect it? What if you expect these changes? Is it a crisis? Can it be a crisis? Is it? You know, don't let any crisis go to waste, you guys. I think somebody said that. You guys can tell. Type in the chat. Churchill or somebody. Okay, so now you guys, this is our cosmic core. This is you want to align this with your chart, and we went over all of these intervals. We went over all the technical stuff, and you guys know where your nobleman stars are. You know where we even did the achievement where your deity, where your guardian angel resides, and the direction. Okay, you guys. So tomorrow we're gonna do a real, you know, we're really going to activate and lay out this 12-bar blues, you guys. Okay. So when we come back tomorrow, all right? So it's going to be great. Now, thanks for hanging with me. Now, you guys that hung tonight, now I got a special bonus for you. You're going to be able to come to the Well-Equipped Day. Some of you guys that are new, the Well-Equipped Day is going to be on Zoom. So what I want you to do is just make sure that you opt into the emails, okay? Because the Well-Equipped Day is going to be a great time for us to talk back and forth because we're going to be on Zoom. And if you got any questions now, so it's a Well-Equipped Day. We haven't actually set the date yet, but just probably tomorrow I'll be able to announce the official date. But I want to just thank you guys for coming tonight, all right? And so there is going to be an extra bonus for you, all right? So that, and all these notes that are there, okay? I think if you just study the stuff, don't worry about grabbing everything, man. Just get what you know, we're going to focus on what tones we're going to focus on. You see, all of these notes here, and you look at your chord and these elements now, you can read this. You see what I'm saying? And now we even went over an overview of the gods, you know, direct wealth, indirect wealth, right? Okay, remember? Okay, you guys, friend, okay? We went over that, okay? Some of these, and we're going to go over some of this more, some of these 10 gods and what they mean to everybody, because this is the Bazi Chart for the year. You see, you can take a look at this stuff, but you see it's a lot of 7K here, okay? See the 7K here? That means it's rooted. That 7K is rooted. See, anytime you see an element at the top and the bottom, that means it's rooted. It's worth like 3 other cats. So just notice that 7K here. It's got a scary term. It means 7 killings, but don't be worried about it. We're going to talk about those other stars tomorrow, okay? But it can mean problems. Okay, it can be issues, but where, what, and what does that mean to this statement, to the earth, or, you know, okay? We're going to talk about all that stuff. So I hope you got a basic understanding of pentatonics, even how to play it. We even played some of this shit. You can play this. You know, really, you know, the G flat's a ninth, the day master. You see that? All right? The relationship, all right? And so it's an interesting study, you guys, and I think we're just scratching the surface. I'm glad you guys hung and are hanging for this Tiger record. Well, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Tiger's coming at me. I am not going to be, it's going to be a little change, and it's going to be a change. And so we're going to embrace this change. You know, we're going to use our best ability and tune our cosmic vibration up, right, to embrace these changes, embrace these tritones, and substitute them and make harmony and go to the next tonality, go to that ninth, okay, you guys? So I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and thank you so much, James, man. It's great to see you, and I'll see you guys. We'll be able to talk on the well-equipped day, man, okay? And you guys, make sure that you guys plot your charts to your family, I told you, your friends, everybody around you, and any enemies you got, you know, your competition, all right? And that's part of it. How are we going to be the hero this year? You're either going to be the hero, the nobleman. You know, you don't want to be the villain. You don't want to be the bad guy, right? When you write your story, you don't want to be the victim, right? We want to be the hero. How do we get justice? How are we going to make things right, you know, for this music? Because we are a cosmic core, and it starts with us and the harmony, all right? So we have our work cut out for us. I know I do, you guys. So thank you for hanging with me, because it gives me energy when we do this, okay? So I really want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. Same BAP time, same BAP channel. Take care.